I thought when I was a kid that all the food that we were eating at home, it was like Ecuadorian food. But actually it was not Ecuadorian food, it was like Lebanese food. When I go to Guayaquil, I have that chip in my mind. So all the time I'm like walking or driving, and I don't know, we grow up with that.
Yeah.
So all the time has been, I think like this. At the school I was, I was the one that all the time that the nuns like, Belén, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Yeah, Belén, who is doing this? Belén, say, leave me alone. So in the university, I can be free. I can do whatever I want.
I think like a commonality of a lot of people that live in Vilcabamba, I think they would, many of us, I think, would describe themselves kind of like you did as the black sheep of the family.
This is like jail. They just give me rice and meat, and I don't eat meat. They say, and they put it like in the plate, like, we bought some bikes, and we bike from Mexico to Ecuador. Yes, let's do it! The best idea ever.
Vilcabamba is a very competitive restaurant market. I think, I always say, there has to be the ratio of healers to population and restaurants to population has to be some of the highest in the world in this valley.
We arrived to Quito 2 weeks before the pandemic started. We came here 1 week before the pandemic started.
Oh, so you kind of got trapped here. You don't meet a lot of Ecuadorians like you.
No, I can walk night alone and it's okay.
The food is amazing. Like, the food is unbelievably good.
I like here the variety of people. It's not, there is not so many people, but the people that is here, everyone is so different.
What was inspiring to me about it is the way that you just allow for the next step in your life to happen sort of naturally.
Here there's nature all around. I think that when I try to control my life, it's a disaster. I remember that I told my mom, no, Mom, I don't want to stay here in this school, no, my head. No, Belén, you have to stay there until you finish. Our first trip was taking a small boat in Coca and going to Rio Napo and travel all the Amazon River.
Wow.
I got a lot of problems. Yes, because I was like la oveja negra. Yes, so my mom.
Sheep.
Yes, the black sheep.
It's known to be a relatively dangerous city. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy you're here. Joined today by Belén Torres. I can't roll my R's. I don't think I'll ever learn to properly roll my R's. But so yeah, this is going to be a great interview. Lots of fun. Belén is from Ecuador originally, Guayaquil. She owns one of my favorite restaurants here in town. Dumplings and noodles, absolutely amazing food. She's got a great vibes, cool person, has a very interesting story to tell. Has traveled a lot, lived in a few different places. So we're going to tell her story today. So let's start with kind of at the beginning. So sounds like you were telling me a little bit before the show. Sounds like you were born in Guayaquil to an interesting lineage. Talk to me a little bit just about early life in Guayaquil.
Yeah, so I was born in Guayaquil. So I spent my childhood there. So my father, the family of my father is from Quito and Saruma. Uh-huh. And my family mom, is from Lebanon. Mm-hmm. So I have that culture also in my blood. And because my mom was the one who was running the house, so I have, I remember that I thought when I was a kid that all the food that we were eating at home, it was like Ecuadorian food. But actually it was not Ecuadorian food, it was like Lebanese food. So when I went to my friend's house, it was like weird to eat that food because I was used to eat different kind of food. So
Was your mother born in Ecuador? Or
yes.
Was she? Okay.
Yeah, she was born in Ecuador. So my grandparents, they were.
And were they in Guayaquil also? Your grandparents?
They passed away.
They passed away before you were born.
No, they passed away. One when I was 8 years old, and the other one when I was 15 years old.
Okay, but were they in Guayaquil growing up?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
In Guayaquil, yes. They, you know how is, people from Middle East, they have like, that blood, that business blood. So so they have few. I remember that my grandfather, he owned a supermarket in Guayaquil. Mm-hmm. Also, he was the owner of a football team. The name was Everest.
Wow.
So once we went really? Champion, yes.
Is that team still?
Yes, it's still in second category.
Right, they get dropped down.
Yes, yeah. So my aunts, they are my uncles. They are running.
Oh, they still.
Yes, still, cool. Still. I have here the symbol of the Everest.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, happy.
Very cool. Okay, so let's see. So you're in Guayaquil. I mean, you're just kind of like in the heart of the city, or like on the outs, like suburbs, or you're just in the city, or where?
Yeah, like in the city. In the city, so my life is like I study in a nun school, so with nuns.
Oh wow!
Yes,
a Catholic.
Catholic, yes, very Catholic. So all my sisters.
And then, sorry to interrupt you. Did your mom's side coming from Lebanon, were they Catholic already?
Yes, Christians. Yes,
Christians.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So so in Lebanon there is two parts, Muslims and Christians.
Right.
So people say that the food from the Christians are much better.
At least your family. Okay.
So I study in that school. All my sisters studied at the school. All my aunties, everybody. So I have to graduate there. I remember that I told my mom, "No, Mom, I don't want to stay here in this school. No, I hate it. Yeah. No, Belén, you have to stay there until you finish." So I finished there, and then I went to the university. So the university was Casa Grande. It was the most rare university. So it was very alternative.
Oh.
So I studied communications and advertisement and marketing there. Okay. So it was very different from the normal universities. So that gave me also more more freedom, because at the school I was, I was the one that all the time that the nuns like, Belén, don't do that. Yeah, Belén, who is doing this? Belén, say, leave me alone. So in the university I can be free. I can do whatever I want, and because it was very different university, I feel free. I feel free. So
you're kind of a free spirit, I think, aren't you? What was so I know you did some traveling, and we'll get into that in a second, but what was that like for you, growing up with Ecuadorian, well, I guess Ecuadorian parents both, but two different sort of lineages, and going to a Catholic school, in general, Ecuadorian culture, I don't know. I mean, it's very relaxed, but it's also has its customs. There's not a lot of, people aren't super different from one another in a certain way.
Yes.
Being kind of a free spirit and wanting to explore and dealing with, what was that like for you?
Oh, I got a lot of problems. Yes, because I was like la oveja negra. Yes, so my mom.
Sheep.
Yes, the black sheep. Yes, my mom was all the time like, you cannot go to sleep to another house when you are a teenager. So all the time my mom bring me at home. Because she knew that if she let me go, I will be gone forever. Yes, and also because I was very friendly, so I have friends from my school, and also my English academy, and also my friends college, and so I have a lot of groups, so I can go with different people to Yeah, otherwise I feel like a little bit bored
Right.
with the same kind of people.
And what was Guayaquil like? So this let's see, I'm trying to figure out your age. Was this like the 90s, early 2000s? Like when were you kind of like growing up in Guayaquil?
Yes, in the 90s. Yeah, in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like a child.
What was it like then? I mean, it's known to be a relatively dangerous city. Obviously, you can live there. Lots of people live there. I visit all the time for various things. But what was it like at that time, Guayaquil?
When I was like 13, 14, it was like early 2000s. So I remember that I ride a bike all around like my neighborhood with my sister and two other friends, and was okay, it was safe. But at night, yeah, we have to be at home. Yeah. But all the time, it's like when I go to Guayaquil, I have that chip in my mind. So all the time I'm like walking or driving, and I don't know. We grow up with that.
Yeah.
So all the time has been, I think, like this. Now I think that is a little bit more. But
A little bit worse now?
Yes, yes, a little bit worse.
Yeah.
But still, you have to know where to go, what time, how you go out. Of course, I remember that when I was, maybe 15, 16 years old, I was walking with my sister in downtown Guayaquil, and someone go and get out my earrings. Yeah, it was like, okay, yes. Things happen also back in that time.
Yeah, I mean, the few friends I have in Guayaquil tell me, like, if you live there long enough, eventually, you'll get robbed somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
and so you finished college, Universidad in Guayaquil.
Yes.
And then what did you do after that?
Because my mom is very strict, so since I started university, I started working. So I study and work at the same time. So because my mom say, when you graduate, you have to have the experience. You cannot graduate without experience. So I remember that I was the only one in my university that work and study at the same time. So after that, after I graduated, I still working. Yes, I work in an advertisement company. I work in a newspaper. I work in Interagua, that is the water company in Guayaquil. I work in La Troncal. La Troncal is a sugar company. I work in a lot of places. So my last place that I worked was in a family company. So we were doing some contracts with the government. And then I was doing marketing, administration, and logistics, and I say, no, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to stay in Guayaquil anymore. It's
How old were you at that point?
29.
Okay.
I was 29, so I say, no, I cannot, because also before that, I got married. I went to live in Lima. Because my ex-husband was from Lima. I was very, very young, 24. So I went there and say, no, I don't want to live in Peru. So I came back with him, and then after 2 years we divorced. And then I stayed living alone. So my mom, it was very, very rare, 26 years old in Guayaquil, a woman living alone, say no. That is not right. So my mom say, no, come back to the house. Say, no, I will stay here alone. Yeah. So then I say, this is not the life that I wanted, because it's just working. And then I didn't want to have kids at all. So I don't want, having kids. So what was the next step? And I was thinking, what to do. And then I met someone. And then before that, I have the idea. I have a roommate, so I say, Pato, I want to travel. I want to go all around the world. I want to travel for 1 year. Say, go. And then I met someone, and then he has the same idea. I say, let's go. So he sell everything. I just sold my car. And then in my house, my roommate, he stayed there. So imagine, in Guayaquil, I was like, I have everything in Guayaquil. Todo. So I went to eating outside every night and going to parties. I have everything. So our first trip was taking a small boat in Coca and going to Rio Napo and travel all the Amazon River.
Wow.
So, the first boat for me was, I say, this is like jail. They just give me rice and meat, and I don't eat meat. They say, and they put it like in the plate, like, chas. I say, no, this is jail. So it was very hard for me. So imagine like having everything in Guayaquil and now going just for rice. It was amazing, the views, the experience, everything. But the first one, and sleeping in a hammock, and we were the last one to arrive to the boat, so we didn't have roof. So when it was rainy, so the rain, we get wet, and the mosquitoes, we didn't have like repellent because we didn't know. So it was that boat until Iquitos, it was very hard for me. And with chickens también. Imagine in Guayaquil, my uncle, he has haciendas, and he has like a zoo también. So I has been, with animals, but animals there and me here. Yeah. But here it was the chickens next to me, and it was very hard. But then, we enjoyed a lot until we arrived to Manaus.
Yeah.
And then,
Where is that?
Manaus is the most important city in the Amazon in Brazil.
Okay.
So it's big.
So you crossed over.
We crossed Ecuador, Peru, and then we arrived until Brazil. Yes.
How long were you doing that trip?
In the boat, it was 2 or 3 weeks, because also we have to wait, like in towns, waiting for the other ship to arrive.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and then after that, we took a plane to Europe. So we traveled a little bit of Europe. That was so different, I've been in Europe. And
had you been there before?
Yes, yes, I have been there. Before the traveling, yes. Yeah. I made, before the traveling, it was like, just 2 weeks traveling and then come back. Yes, so I visit a few places like that when I was working in Guayaquil. So you have just 2 weeks holidays. I don't want just 2 weeks. It's too poquito. And we traveled Europe. And the last place that we were was in Nápoles and picking grapes. Yeah. Picking grapes and doing wine. Okay. So it was nice. And then the winter started coming. Yeah. So I say, no, I don't want winter. No way. We are not prepared for winter. We don't have coats, boats, anything. So then I remember that I told him so let's go to Asia. And he said, no, Asia is too far away yet. So no Asia yet. And say, okay. So I told him, so we started searching, and I told him, okay, so let's go to Africa. And I was thinking, okay, Africa, like Senegal, that West Africa, Northwest Africa. And he said, okay, yes, let's go to Africa. Let's go to South Africa. Mm-hmm. I say, okay, why not? Let's go to South Africa. So we traveled South Africa from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the West to the East. South Africa, Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique. So we stayed around 6 to 7 months in Africa. And then we say, it's too much. It's too much, Africa, because there is no food. There is really, they are there is no food. So tomatoes like this, peppers like this, and onions like this. No more veggies, yuca, avocado in Malawi, very cheap. And that's it. No. So I say, no, too much. Let's go away from here. And then we decided to go to India. So we went to India. We spent 1 month in India, just traveling, going to the mountains. And Also because he likes mountains. So we went to Nepal and we do the ABC camp in the Himalayas, in the Annapurna. So we walk in the Himalayas like 2 to 3 weeks. It was, wow, increíble. Nepal is amazing. It's a very nice country. Then after that, where we go? I think that we went to a little bit of Southeast Asia. No, we went to China. Because in Africa, we met a girl, Celia. So she's from Taiwan. So we traveled together 2 months. So she say like, she was selling the Chinese culture. How is the Chinese culture and blah, 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 blah. And we went in love with Chinese culture. So we say, let's go to China. So we went to China and we stayed 1 month there. In that month, I got a job. I got a job for 2 weeks. And then after that, they told me, okay, you have to sign a contract for 1 year to stay in China. And we were planning to go to Australia. So we already had the visa to go to Australia and to work just 3 months in Australia because I have some cousins there. So, and then it was like, okay, so I signed this contract for 1 year and I go to Australia just for 3 months and work. And I say, okay, let's stay here in China. So I signed the contract. So, and then we stay 2 years and a half, something like that in China. And staying in China, we travel a lot because China is a very good place to travel. So we went to Australia, Southeast Africa, Philippines, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Iraq, all over. Yes, it was amazing. And then I get tired también of China. I say, no, I don't want China anymore. So then we decide to go back to India. No. Then we decide to travel Turkey, all the Tanis, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. And then we arrive to India. So there in India, I took the yoga teacher training in Rishikesh, 1 month. And after that, it was like, what should we do? What should we do? What else? And then my partner, he was a triathlon. So he do bicycle, running, and swimming. Wow. So he say, okay, so what do you think is we go to Mexico, we bought some bikes, and we bike from Mexico to Ecuador. Yes, let's do it! The best idea ever. So we went to Mexico, we bought the bikes, and we cycle. Yeah. We cycle Mexico and Guatemala. Wow. In Guatemala, I say, I cannot do this anymore. It's too dangerous. It's too hard. Yeah. And also, we were very heavy because we didn't know, and we only sent 1 box to Ecuador. So it was full, it was very heavy. I remember some pictures, I'm just pushing the bike. Yeah. And Mexico also is very dangerous. So we were traveling and the trucks, we were cycling and the trucks like...
Too close.
Too close, and you feel like, ooh, yes. And also, no, Mexico's too dangerous. You will pass the Triángulo de la Muerte, the death triangle. Yes. So, no, you have to be careful. And also, you can feel the vibe. Yeah. So, yeah, but it was nice. And then we packed our bikes and we came back to Ecuador.
From Guatemala.
From Guatemala, yes. So we arrived to Quito. 2 weeks before the pandemic started.
Oh, okay. And how long had you been traveling for? Like, had you been out of the country? Was that 3 years?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years and a half, something like that. Yes.
Okay, so you get back in 2020, right before the pandemic.
Exactly, yes. So we went out from China in September, and the pandemic started in October in China. Okay. So 1 month, we didn't know anything, just because I don't want to stay more in China. And then, so we arrived to Quito, and we traveled around Ecuador. So where to stay, because I didn't want to stay in a city. Mm-hmm. I knew that I didn't want to go to Guayaquil, and I didn't want to Quito. Mm-hmm. And Cuenca also for me was very cold. So I say, no, so let's travel all around. So we went from the coast until Vilcabamba, and then we went back to Quito from the Amazon, so the first idea was to stay in Tena. So I said, no, Tena, I don't like that much, because I don't know. I remember that I want a place with no one, with no people. China is full of people, so I want, a peace place, no one. So, and then we came here 1 week before the pandemic started.
Oh, so you kind of got trapped here.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Okay. That's how I am.
It was meant to be, I guess.
It is. Yeah. It was meant to be.
I want to pause just for 1 second. So, it's interesting, and we'll get in, of course, why you stayed in Vilcabamba and all that. But it's interesting. You don't meet a lot of Ecuadorians like you, right? You don't meet vegetarian Ecuadorians. You don't meet people who sort of have the energy and sort of, not that they don't exist, but in general, it's a pretty quiet, laid back, subtle kind of culture. Everyone kind of does the same thing to some degree. Meat here, of course, is part of almost every meal. You don't meet people who've traveled the world. And, I think a commonality of a lot of people that live in Vilcabamba, I think many of us, I think, would describe themselves kind of like you did as the black sheep of the family. And, people who tend to be free thinkers, who, have sort of a different idea of what they want for their own life than is sort of the norm, wherever they're coming from. So it's just interesting to me to sort of, I get to hear people's stories and kind of who they are and how they got here. And, yours is quite an interesting one and different than, you're not your typical nacional. So very interesting. Okay. So you get here in 2020, you get stuck here, obviously for the first part of COVID. And then what happens after that?
So we say, and we didn't have jobs, anything. We just have our savings. So I remember that I write to my boss in China and say, do you have some jobs for us? So yes. Okay. So we start teaching also online, and then
what were you teaching?
English, and now I'm still teaching Spanish. I have my same students from China. They are now, she's 6 years old, and the older one is 10 years old. So I start teaching them Spanish when the little one was 9 months.
Oh, wow.
So they are very, very smart.
Spanish is good then at these points.
Yes,
probably,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they speak 5 languages.
Wow.
French, English, Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese, and Spanish. Yeah, they are very, very, very intelligent. Cool. Yeah. So, and then after that, teaching, because I was teaching in China, I saw a post that someone needs a teacher. I say, okay, I can be a teacher here también. So I was a children teacher there was a small school via Vilcabamba, so with some parents. So I taught them for 1.5 years. It was very fun. I like kids. I like playing with kids, teaching them. It's
interrupting very briefly. So you just reminded me. So my wife was because we were always looking for the best thing for our kids. We have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And my wife was like, I don't think she'll do it, but if we could ever get Belén, I was immediately I don't know you that well, but just based on your energy and I was like, yeah, that would be perfect. So that's really interesting. You were doing that here for a while, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So I was very happy being with the kids, and we did a lot of activities, and it was very nice. So then the girl that I met in Africa, she was in Mexico, so she said, she didn't like Mexico. So, how is Vilcabamba? I said, I sent her some pictures.
Oh, this is it.
I sent her some pictures.
So this was your friend that initially convinced you to go to China, or no?
Yes, because but she's from Taiwan. She just convinced. She was telling us about the Chinese culture because it was very different from us.
Okay.
So and also because. We traveled 2 months with her, and also we met her in Laos after. So then she went to Taiwan, etc. And then she was in Mexico, and then she said, no, I don't like Mexico that much. So how is Vilcabamba? And I said, Vilcabamba is like this. I sent her pictures. Okay, I will go there. Okay, now so she came. And then when she came, she said like, okay, so let's, we were talking and said, okay, yeah, so let's put something together. So yeah, let's put a restaurant. Yeah, let's do it. So I need to quit the teaching because the restaurant was like taking me a lot of time and preparing and everything. So we put the restaurant together, and then she stayed, how long? 1 year. She stayed 1 year here in Vilcabamba, and then she said no, that here's not the place for her. Mm-hmm. So then she left.
So was that 2020 that you opened the restaurant?
No. It was 2022 because because I teach in.
Oh right, you had the time. Teaching first.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Teaching first. Okay. Yes, exactly.
So then were those her recipes that you guys are doing, or how did the food come about?
When I was living in China, there was a restaurant downstairs. So there was like the crochet cucumber salad. I say, we need to put that one because it's so good. I always went there to eat that one. So it was, salad. Yeah, it was there. It was like the cucumber and the Moor salad. So it was Moor, the hongos de oreja, the ear mushrooms salad, just that one and just that one. So
you combined them.
Yeah, we combined them. And also I told her like I love the eggplant because in China the eggplant was so good. I say we need to do something with the eggplant. Also her recipes, because she was working. She worked in a lot of restaurants like around the world, like in England, in Taiwan también. So she has like more experience in the restaurant thing. So it was, I think, that a combine between. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, first of all, when you opened, we were all very excited because Vilcabamba is such a small town, but we have food from all over the world, and a lot of it's amazing. A lot of it's really good. Yeah. And when we saw, Taiwan, the sign going up, we were all very excited to try. But it's interesting because when you opened, Vilcabamba is a very competitive restaurant market. I think I always say there has to be the ratio of healers to population and restaurants to population has to be some of the highest in the world, in this valley. And so it's very competitive. You really either almost have to be in the park or very good to make it, as a restaurant here. Mm-hmm. So when you opened, you were kind of the first one that was like down in that direction below the park. And it was like the location, I was thinking like, all right, it's a little far, like, let's see. And then when we tasted the food is amazing. Like the food is unbelievably good. For those of you who might come down, the vegetable soup for me is incredible. Everything on the menu is amazing, like truly. But the vegetable soup's amazing. The dumplings, the classic dumplings are phenomenal. You do like a mushroom pasta, homemade pasta that's amazing. I'm a huge fan of the wok tofu as well. It's unbelievable. The flavors are not only phenomenal, but they're very consistent. Like it's always good. I never get one where I'm like, it's not that good today. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. And you guys, you have a cool little crew in there kind of doing their thing. So yeah, it was really a testament to the quality of the food that, you've had as much success in that location, as you have. But okay, so You opened the restaurant. Good.
But about the location,
Yeah.
we were looking at the location. So I told Celia, there is a street here that is very similar to the walking street in China, in Asia, because in Asia there are walking streets that are stone streets, but they are closed. So they are full of restaurants and a lot of life there. So there is, and it's the old street. So this
cobblestone. It's a cobblestone.
Yeah, exactly. So in China also the old streets are like that. So we were walking. And Celia told me, I have never been here. Say, yeah. So we saw, and there was any sign there that it was like renting or anything. So I told her, look that place. Look the view. The view is perfect. I know that it's far, but the view is amazing. So I remember that I knock all the doors, like, so do you know who's the owner of this one? And then, we got it. Because, the view, and also, my idea was like, because I remember that once I thought, because it was the old street. Yeah. So I saw the potential of the street. It's like, is it.
Well, and now, because you did that successfully, now Eden opened up in that area as well. So you kind of changed that, the trend sort of in that. What was the kitchen? Did you have to put in the kitchen? Or?
Todo. We have to put everything.
I see.
So also the idea was, let's put also an open kitchen. Yeah. Because people can see what are we doing.
Right.
So that is different. That is great. That is like, also there is in Guayaquil one restaurant that the name is La Central. They do an open kitchen también. So it's very nice to have what they are doing. So I got.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Very cool. Yeah. So what you came to Vilcabamba. I guess you and the guy split at some point.
Yes, we split.
Okay. Is he not in Vilcabamba anymore?
No, he is in
Vilcabamba.
He's still.
Right. Yeah, that can be fun or not. I don't know, but
weird a veces.
But so you came to Vilcabamba. You get stuck here for probably not more than a month or two until you could have traveled if you wanted to. But what kept you here? Like why did you decide? What was it about this valley that made you decide? Let me stay longer, and then ultimately get a job and open a restaurant. And I guess you said 2022, so it's been about 2-something years at this point.
Yes.
What was it that kept you here?
So I think that one of my top 3 that I can live in a place. One is the weather. For me, the weather is so important. That it's not cold, it's not very hot, so I can feel comfortable. So myself also can do all the things that I can do. The security. I don't want to be, I can walk at night alone and it's okay. I can go and, talking on the phone and everything is fine. So the security is very nice. And also I like here the variety of people. It's not, there is not so many people, but the people that is here, everyone is so different. So it's very interesting. Yeah, to talk with them and to know the people and the story. If you go to a place, there is like just the same people. So for me, it's very important. La naturaleza, the nature.
Nature,
yeah. So at the beginning, when
you saved that one. I see that's probably the biggest thing.
Yes. So. Before I was living in a house that has a garden, that I have cesspit, grass.
Correct. Lawn.
So yeah, for me, and then I moved here. My body feel like, you need to be more in contact with the nature, So here there's nature all around, but there I just wake up and the earth was there. I can lie down and be barefoot. So yeah, the nature is so important for me. It's like give me life. Yes, is when I travel, and when I traveled before, we avoid big cities.
Right.
We went to the most natural things, and now también. La naturaleza is very important. And to have agua nearby is very important for me.
You mean the rivers?
River, sea, lakes, but...
Here are the rivers.
Here the river, yes. And it is clean. I can go to the river, yes, I can be in the river, yeah. So that attracted me here in Vilcabamba. I don't know if I'm going to be here forever.
Sure. Yeah, it's an inspiring story. What you make me think of, which Daniel, who I interviewed last week, that just got released on Sunday, also kind of, both of you are like travelers, and what his story and your story, sort of what was inspiring to me about it is the way that you just allow for the next step in your life to happen sort of naturally, and allow like, okay, now I'll go do this and now I'll go do that. And I think when you do that and you just sort of open up you open up to being kind of guided in that way, or you just allow, yourself to trust your intuition and just kind of flow in that way. Life has this sort of magical way of working out. Like it has this sort of magical way of sort of setting itself up so that it all works. And, hearing your story of traveling and how you got to, starting with what must have been an incredible trip through the Amazon. And I don't know how many countries you named, but it had to be 20 or more that you just named.
Yeah, but we visited around 40, something like
40,
that.
yeah, amazing. And then, and then here, it's just, it's very inspiring for me to sort of remember to relax, let life flow, don't try to control it, let things evolve and unfold.
Yes, I think that when I try to control my life, it's like, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
But when I, let it go, be patient, and let it go, like the things go just with the flow, and everything like start. When I desperate myself, it's like, nothing happened.
Right.
But when I'm like, things will happen, I'm just doing, because also I like to do. Yes, I all the time I'm thinking, okay, what is the next step? Okay, what else can I do? What else can I learn? También. So, for example, I did the yoga teacher training in India, and then here I have done like 1, 2, 3 teacher training también. So
of yoga also?
Of yoga, air yoga and Anusara yoga. So it's like, okay, so I want to develop that. It's not that I want to be a yoga teacher. I just want to be more into my practice, deep into my practice. So, and then also, because I have that, since I was a child, I think that because of my, my grandparents, that they are like in the business world. So since I remember that I was like a teenager, I start doing business. Like, okay, I will sell the first business that was a success. I sell mangoes at the school. So my mom house, it has like 10 or 20 mango trees. So I remember that I went to the terraza. I take out all the mangoes, all the mangoes, and then I peel the mangoes, I cut the mangoes, I put it in bags, and I went to the school.
Nice.
And I sell all the mangoes. I remember my goal is to sell all the mangoes that I'm bringing to the school. So with that money, I remember that I bought my mom a very Christmas tree. So for her birthday, it was like, I see that. And then I did some t-shirt business when I was at the university with my university friends, classmates. Also, because I like to work. I also in Guayaquil I have like an event planner. At the same time that I working in other places, so I had 2 jobs. So all the time I'm like, I have that in my brain. Like, okay, the business. What else can I do? Well, I'm thinking and improving. Yeah, I like to improve myself.
That's beautiful. I think it's a great approach to life. All right. Is there anything that I have not asked about that you want to talk about? And also, is there anything, obviously the restaurant, is there anything you want to shout out or make people aware of?
The restaurant, we do everything from scratch. Everything is homemade. The noodles, the dumpling, the chili oil, everything we make from scratch. It's fun. It's fun being there with the chicas también. So it's chévere. So go and try.
Yeah, I mean there's maybe 3 restaurants in Vilcabamba for me that are like all at the same level, that are like the 3 for me, like that's the ones, and yours is certainly one of those 3. It's really amazing food. I mean, truly. Okay, cool. Well, you feel good? You feel complete? Anything else?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Muchas gracias a ustedes, chicos. Yeah, muchas gracias.
So yeah, it was a pleasure for me hearing the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the bell, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel here. For real estate videos, click here. For content you're gonna absolutely love, right here. And to find out how these crazy guys got to Ecuador, click right here.